What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. I've had some requests for an updated ADP Zossian list, specifically for the Players' Cup 3 qualifier events, and I had held off on making a new video about ADP-Z since I haven't personally been changing a lot to ADP-Z, but I do think this is the second best deck to play for Players' Cup 3 qualifiers. The first best deck being Pikarom, of course, which I've already made my optimal Pikarom video here on YouTube, and I haven't changed that list since then, so if you missed that, be sure to check that out if you're interested in Pikarom. But if Pikarom isn't doing it for you, or you think you might need a little bit of a variety of decks, my number 2 choice is ADP Zossian. So we're going to look at this list, not spend too much time on it because there really isn't anything very special about the list, but I'll talk about why I think some of the counts of the deck are important. Before we get into this, shout out to PotownStore.com, the best place for you to get PTCGO codes, and be sure to use code CELIO for 5% off. They've got all the supplies you need over there, from booster packs to battle decks to tin promos. So definitely check them out and use my code CELIO for 5% off over there to support my channel and also save money on the codes you need for PTCGO. So here's rule number 1, guys. Play for Zossian in ADP Zossian. I'll keep this brief. Zossian is probably the best card ever printed in the Pokemon trading card game. It's a basic Pokemon with 220 HP, has Metal typing, which came out with Metal Saucer, which is direct energy acceleration, in the same set that this came out in. It has an ability that draws cards and it can accelerate energy to itself. And it has an attack that knocks out equal health, weaker, and even slightly stronger 2-prize Pokemon in just one shot. And it only has 2 retreat as well, meaning the air balloon works with it. Like, there's just, the card has so many things going for it, and it works with Look Metal, and it has energy pairing with ADP. Yeah, there's just so much going for Zossian. Play 4 of the card. It's a consistency card, and it's also your main attacker. It's energy acceleration, it's draw, it's attacking, it's an air balloon retreater, it's everything. Play 4 Zossian. Alright, moving on. You can play an Aegislash if you want to counter Decidueye Obstagoon. I don't have it in this list. You can also play a second Mawile as a soft counter to Decidueye Obstagoon, but also being a card that works in other matchups, because Aegislash is basically a dead card everywhere but the Decigoon's matchup. So Mawile GX with Captivating Wink. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may have your opponent reveal their hand and put any number of basic Pokemon you find there onto their bench. So if you have double Mawile, you're more likely to be able to fetch a basic out of their hand and get it down to the bench versus Decigoon. And then you can just Gust Knockout, Gust Knockout, Gust Knockout against that deck to win, instead of having the Aegislash. And then double Mawile, you're just going to see it more often to try to disrupt your opponent in other matchups as well. So really, if you're worried about Decigoons, Aegislash or second Mawile, I wouldn't say either are a bad idea. Aegislash is a hard counter. Like, I think you're winning if you put Aegislash in your deck. You're gonna beat Decigoons. And then second Mawile GX definitely takes a little bit of work to get there, but can help you beat Decigoons. 2 ADP is just enough. Eldegoss, I like having an Eldegoss in here because it is basically a quick ballable boss's orders. It turns your quick balls and your empty bench spots into potential boss's orders. So I like having Eldegoss there as an option. And especially since we're playing 3 Cherish Ball, like, our quick balls will survive to the late game sometimes. Like, we won't use them all early. Let's see, 2 Crobat, 2 Dedenne. So I've seen people with 3 Dedenne, 2 Crobat. I've seen 2 and 1. The 2 and 1 is definitely wrong. The 3 and 1 is arguable. So I like 2 and 2 because on your early turns, especially if you're going second, going for the turn 1 alter creation, you are, a lot of the times you're going to go for Crobat for 6, then Dedenne for 6, then Research for 7, for a total of 19 cards drawn that turn. And if your 1 Crobat is prized, having 3 Dedenne isn't helping you there. So I like to have the 2-2 split, but I've seen people play 3-1 Dedenne Crobat, just so you can have a Dedenne every turn if you need it. But I prefer the 2-2, so you can have that Crobat Dedenne start most of the time. And then 2 ADP, of course, is just enough, and 3 Water Energy is enough for ADP. I have had 9 metal in here at some point for consistency, for better Brave Blades, for getting them into the discard earlier. And you could take out one of the tools or a swell if you really want the 9th metal energy, but I think this list is fine for me at the moment. 4 energy switch, because why wouldn't you want 4 energy switch? It's going to help you get around hammering when your energies get hammered on a specific Pokemon, or can help you get the turn 1 alter going second. Great Catcher, there's definitely consideration to going up to 2 Great Catcher, but I am playing 4 Boss Great Catcher and Eldegoss, and Eldegoss is kind of like the pseudo 6th Gust, and like I said, it's quick ball searchable, so it's different than Great Catcher and Boss's Orders. So I've been fine with 4 Boss's Orders and 1 Great Catcher, but a second Great Catcher is not a bad addition to the deck. 1 Marnie for Research I think is fine, because you want to end these games in like 3 turns anyway. You want to go Alter, Boss Kill, Boss Kill. That's the game. So we don't need an abundance of draw support in this deck, which you might see a lot of ADPZ lists and wonder why there's not a lot of draw support. That's why, because we're playing the short game. We don't want to need to have like 5 different supporters to play, right? We want to just play Research and then play Boss and then play Boss, and the game is over. So Marnie's just kind of like your 5th draw supporter for consistency purposes. And if you need to fetch it back, you can always use Eldegoss for it. Tool Scrapper is for the Luke Metal matchup. If Luke Metal becomes really popular again, then second Tool Scrapper might be a good idea if you want to secure that matchup, because they put on metal goggles and then we can't knock them out even after Alter Creation. Energy Spinner is just better than other energy because it gets you whichever energy you need at the moment. Swell is great against welder decks, so they can't put down their giant hearth right away. If Fire saw like a resurgence and Lucametal was literally just not played, then you could take out the Tool Scrapper for second Swell maybe, but Tool Scrapper is also good against Big Charm on Pikarom, and Big Charm has been in Pikarom decks again. 4 Switch, 4 Saucer, 4 Quick Ball, they're all no-brainers. The Cherish Ball, you could go up to 4 if you didn't like any of the cards here. Like, let's say you don't like Big Charm, so you drop 2 Big Charms for 9th Metal and 4th Cherish Ball. That's consistency over having the Big Charms giving you a little extra HP, so that's fine. I will talk about the Big Charms just a little bit. So the Big Charms are good against Eternatus on your ADP. Basically, they're just helping your ADP live past the Alter Creation turn, because you want to be able to Ultimate Ray. The games where you Ultimate Ray, your win percentage just goes up astronomically. So the Big Charm helps your ADP survive that next turn after Alter Creation, whether it makes your opponent not be able to full blitz, then full blitz. 6 energy Double Blaze from Reshizard doesn't knock it out. Baby Blown will need an extra energy or a Zigzagoon ping. Eternatus needs a lot to knock out an ADP with a Big Charm. Centiskorch needs more to knock out an ADP with a Big Charm. So you the Big Charms are to help your ADP survive, and then versus the Luke Metal matchup, the Big Charms are for your Zossian to help them survive versus their Zossians. And I think that's everything on the deck. So like I said, if you're worried about Aegislash, if you're worried about Decigoons, you can pop in Aegislash or a second Mawile, but do not cut the 4th Zacian. Do not cut the 4th Zacian V. Do not, say it with me now, everybody. Do not cut, there you go. Do not cut this 4th Zacian V. Absolutely right. It's your consistency, it's your acceleration, it's your attacker, it's your air balloon retreater. It's a good card. If you start with Zacian V, that means you can use your like Quick Ball for Dedenne, or your Quick Ball for ADP, or your Quick Ball for Crobat, you know? Just 4 Zacian V. You just want to be aggro, streamlined, consistent. This deck is cracked. It's not my number 1 pick, just because I do think Pika has some skill expression, and after you get past like a plateau of sequencing correctly, this list is basically like, all right, let's see if I can get Alter Boss before my opponent can kill the ADP. You know, so Pika gives me a little skill expression, I think. And ADPZ, after you like sequence correctly, once you've got that down, there's like a very hard cap to how much you can actually influence a game with ADPZ, but it is good, especially if you don't have a ton of time to dump into a deck. ADPZ is a great deck to just practice for like 3 to 5 games. As long as you have the general sequencing of the game down, you should be fine to go, and just let the rest of your fate be in the ADP and Boss's Orders hands. So this is my optimal ADPZ list for Players Cup 3 qualifier grind. Of course, like I said, there's a surge of Decidueye. Slap an Aegis Slash in there for the easy way out, or slap a second Mawile if you want to work for it a bit. Do not take out the Zossian V for said card. Maybe take out like the Swell or the second Big Charm, or probably Swell or second Big Charm. But yeah, consistent deck. Very good, very fast. You'll either win or lose pretty quickly most of the time. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you can take this deck to the victory of some Players Cup 3 qualifier events. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for daily Pokemon TCG content, and check out PotownStore.com for all of your PTCGO needs. Use code Celio for 5% off. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.